Hello friends, now today we will discuss four sections of Income Tax Act 1961, 35CCA, 35CCB, 35CCC and 35CCD. Now first we will see section 35CCA. Now section 35CCA is about contribution for rural development. So any assessee who contributes to NFRD or NUPEF or any approved institution, then he will get 100% deduction under section 35CCA. The full form of NFRD is National Fund for Rural Development. NUPEF is National Urban Poverty Eradication Fund, and approved institution is any other approved institution set up and notified by CG. So again we will quickly revise section 35CCA. Okay, so section 35CCA is contribution for rural development. Okay, any assessee who contributes to NFRD or NUPEF or any approved institution set up and notified by CG, he will get 100% deduction under this section. Now we will go to section 35CCB. Now this section is not in your modules. This is just for your information. Okay. Now section 35CCB is contribution for conservation of natural resources. So any assessee who contributes to association/institution, he will get 100% deduction under section 35CCB. Now association and institution are for conservation of natural resources, and these institution or association shall be approved by the prescribed authority. Now these approval by the prescribed authority shall not be more than 3 years at a time. Okay. So the prescribed authority shall not grant such approval, means approval to the institution or association for conservation of natural resources for more than 3 years at a time. Matlab, the prescribed authority will not grant such approval. Such means approval for conservation of natural resources. It shall not grant it for more than 3 years at a time. Okay. So quickly we will revise this section again. Section 35CCB, contribution for conservation of natural resources. So any assessee who contributes to any association or institution for conservation of natural resources, he will get 100% deduction under section 35CCB. The prescribed authority shall not grant such approval for more than 3 years at a time. The institution or association shall be approved by the prescribed authority. Now we will move to section 35CCC. Section 35CCC. It is on expenditure on natural. It is on expenditure on agriculture extension project. It means training in agriculture. Any assessee who has done expenditure on agriculture extension project will get 100% deduction under this section. The expenditure should not be on cost of land, cost of building. Okay. In case of cost of building, only depreciation will be provided. Rest of any of the expenditure, whether it is in the nature of it is in revenue nature or capital nature, 100% deduction will be allowed, and the project should be notified by CBDT. See, in this section 35CCA, the institution should be set up and notified by CG, but here in section 35CCC, the project should be notified by CBDT. There are few more points to be learned in section 35CCC that we will be going to look ahead. First, we will again revise section 35CCC. It is on expenditure on agriculture extension project. This means training in agriculture. So any assessee who has done expenditure on agriculture extension project should be notified by CBDT. He will get 100% deduction under section 35CCC. The expenditure should not be on land. So in case of land, no deduction will be allowed. In case of building, only depreciation will be allowed. And in case of any other expenditure, whether it is in nature of it is in revenue nature or capital nature, 100% deduction will be allowed to the assessee. Now we will further move to section 35CCD. It is similar to section 35CCC. The two major difference is that this is on agriculture extension project and this is on skill development project. This is the first difference. Second difference is here all assessee are covered. See, and here only company is covered. Okay. So section 35CCD is expenditure incurred on skill development project. It means training in manufacturing. Okay, assessee only company will get 100% deduction in respect of expenditure incurred. Okay, on skill development project. This project should be notified by CBDT. Cost of land is not allowed. Cost of building only depreciation is allowed. All other expenditure, whether in revenue nature or capital nature, 100% deduction will be allowed. So again we will revise section 35CCD. So I have told that only two major differences there in section 35CCC and section 35CCD. Here it is agriculture extension project, here it is skill development project. Here all assessee are covered, here only company is covered. So section 35CCD, expenditure incurred on skill development project. It means training in manufacturing. Assessee only company will get 100% deduction under this section if he has done expenditure on skill development project. The project should be notified by CBDT. Cost of land is not allowed. Cost of building only depreciation will be allowed. Other expenditure, whether in revenue nature or capital nature, 100% deduction will be given under this section. Now further we will go in depth of section 35CCC and section 35CCD. So section 35CCC says the agriculture extension project shall be considered for notification if it fulfills all the following conditions. Means any agriculture extension project will be eligible for notification if it fulfills all the following conditions. Now the first condition is the project shall be undertaken by assessee for training, education, guidance of farmers. Second condition is the project shall have prior approval of Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. Third condition is an expenditure exceeding 25 lakh is expected to be incurred for the project. Now there are 3 points for expenditure. First, no cost of land and building is allowed, which I had mentioned earlier. Second, the expenditure amount will be reduced by the amount received from beneficiary. Third, the expenditure should not be reimbursed or reimbursable directly or indirectly. Now again I will explain the 3 points of expenditure. First, the expenditure should not be on land or building. Okay, in case of building only depreciation will be allowed. And any amount received from beneficiary to the assessee. Okay, suppose the assessee has done expenditure of ₹100 and 5 rupees has been received from the beneficiary. Then the assessee will be eligible for deduction of only 95 rupees. Okay. and also the expenditure should not be reimbursed or reimbursable directly or indirectly to the assessee. Means suppose if assessee has done expenditure of 15 rupees and rupees 25 is reimbursed to him, so only 25 rupees will be eligible for deduction under this section. So again we will revise the conditions for a project to be eligible for notification. Okay, the project shall be undertaken by the assessee for training, education, guidance of farmers. The project shall have prior approval of Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. An expenditure exceeding 25 lakhs is expected to be incurred for the project. 3 points of expenditure are: no cost of land and building. Second, reduced by the amount received from the beneficiary. Third, expenditure should not be reimbursed or reimbursable directly or indirectly to the assessee. Now, there are further more conditions for claiming deduction under section 35CCC. Okay, deduction in respect of expenditure incurred for notified agriculture extension project would be available if the assessee maintains separate books of accounts of such agriculture extension project and gets such books audited by an accountant. Okay. The second condition is furnishes the following. Following means 3 things. Okay, following 3 things on or before the due date of furnishing the return of income to the commissioner of income tax or director of income tax as the case may be. So what he has to furnish? The audited statement of accounts of the agriculture extension project along with audited report and the amount of deduction claimed under this section. Second, a note on agriculture project undertaken and program of agriculture extension project to be undertaken during the financial year and financial allocation for such program. Third, a certificate from Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India regarding the genuineness of the project. So what 3 things the assessee has to furnish for claiming deduction under section 35CCC is: first is the audited statements of accounts, okay, of the agriculture extension project along with audited report and amount of deduction claimed under this section. Second, a note on agriculture project undertaken and program of agriculture extension project to be undertaken during the current year and financial allocation for such programs. The first thing is audited statements of account. Second is a note. Third is a certificate from Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India regarding the genuineness of the project. The first was audited statements of accounts, okay, along with audited report and along with amount of deduction. Okay, first point is audited statements of accounts along with audited report and amount of deduction for the agriculture extension project. Second is a note on agriculture project undertaken, okay, and program. Note on what? Note on agriculture project undertaken and program of agriculture extension project to be undertaken during the current year and what? Financial allocation of such program. And third is a certificate from Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India regarding the genuineness of the project. So quickly we will again see the condition for claiming deduction. So deduction in respect of expenditure incurred for a notified agriculture extension project would be available if the assessee maintains separate books of account of such agriculture extension project and gets such books audited by the accountant. And second condition is furnishes the following on or before the due date of furnishing return of income tax to the Commissioner of Income Tax or Director of Income Tax as the case may be, or he has to furnish the first audit statement of account of agriculture extension project along with the audited report and amount of deduction claim under this section. A note on what? A note on agriculture extension project undertaken and program of agriculture extension project to be undertaken during current year and financial allocation of such program. A certificate from Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India regarding the genuineness of the project. Now we will see few points for section 35 CCD, okay, skill development project. The expenditure should not be in the nature of cost of land or building, and it should not be reimbursed or reimbursable directly or indirectly to the assessee. So these 2 points are the same as section 35 CCC. Okay, the first point is expenditure should not be in the nature of cost of land or building. The second point is reimbursement of expenditure. That is, the expense should not be reimbursed or reimbursable directly or indirectly to the assessee. So I have here written same as section 35 triple C. So this third point for expenditure is same for section 35 CCD. Now a skill development project would be considered for notification. Now here conditions are given for notification of a skill development project. The first condition is it is undertaken by eligible company. Now eligible company means manufacturing or production of any article or thing except beer, wine and other alcoholic spirits, tobacco and tobacco preparation, or engaged in providing specified services. Means the company should not be engaged in manufacturing or production of beer, wine and other alcoholic spirits, tobacco and tobacco preparation, or any other article or thing which will be specified later on. So the and the second condition is the project is undertaken in separate facilities in a training institute. Now again we will revise the condition for a skill development project to be notified. It should be undertaken by an eligible company. Eligible company means a company who is engaged in manufacturing or production of any article or thing. Now any article or thing should not include beer, wine and any other alcoholic spirit, tobacco and tobacco preparation, or engaged in providing specified services. Okay, now these services are not yet specified. In future if they are specified, then the company should not be engaged in that specified services. And the second condition is the project is undertaken in separate facility in a training institute. Now there is one more point for existing employees of the company. Skill development project in respect of existing employees of the company would not be eligible for notification where the training of such employee commences after 6 months of their recruitment. Now, any skill development project will not be considered for notification when the employees of the company when the existing employees of the company have started such training after 6 months of their recruitment. So again revising this point, any company whose existing employees have started the training after 6 months of their recruitment, then the skill development project would not be eligible for the notification. Now the last 2 conditions for availing deduction under section 35 CCD are similar to section 35 CCC. The first one is assessee maintains separate books of account of such skill development projects. See, here I have mentioned SDP, the full form is skill development project, and get such books audited by the accountant. The second condition is furnishes the audited statement of accounts along with audited report and the amount of deduction claimed under this section, and he will furnish it to the Commissioner of Income Tax or the Director of Income Tax as the case may be. Revise the last two conditions for availing deduction under section 35 CCD, which is similar to section 35 CCC. The first condition is assessee maintains separate books of account of such skill development project and get such books audited by the accountant. Here I have written same for section 35 CCD. The second point is furnishes audited statements of accounts along with audited report and amount of deduction claimed under this section, and he will furnish it to the Commissioner of Income Tax or Director of Income Tax as the case may be. So I hope that you all are clear with these four sections of Income Tax Act 1961. Thank you for watching.